Well, good morning. Today we are going to be working on our rope cable, finally. To begin with, what I've done here in my little swatch is I've chained 15 and I have done a single crochet in each stitch across, starting with the second chain from the hook. Now, this is where the pattern starts. So this is the first row of my swatch. On the second row, we're going to chain one, and then of course we're going to turn. Now, as you can tell, I worked my little yarn end into the row as I always do. Now, for this row, what we're going to do is we're going to build a ridge which is going to make the cable stand out from the background of the fabric that you're making. So with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go in the front loop only, just like that. See? And we're going to slip stitch. We just yarn over and pull it through both loops. Or we grab the yarn and pull it through, I should say. And we do this across the entire row, making sure that you stay in the front loops only. One of the things that you'll have to remember when you're working with cables, you'll want to go up one hook size from what the yarn recommends. What happens with cables is doing the front post stitches tends to make your piece pucker, and it'll set your gauge off. If you go up a hook size, those cables will be a little looser. You'll be able to maintain the size and the shape and the gauge. And then we have our slip stitches in the front loops only. That's what it's going to look like along the top. Now, here we're going to chain one again, and we're going to turn. And you see this row of ridges right here? Those are the back loops that we ignored when we were doing the slip stitches. What we're going to do with this is we're going to single crochet in each of the back loops. And what that's going to do is make these slip stitches stand up, as you'll see in a minute. Sometimes I find it's easier to pull up that first back loop. And I'm trying to go kind of slow so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. I tend to crochet pretty quickly, which is how I'm able to crank out so many hats. But this is just very simple single crochet. And this particular stitch pattern is all single crochet and chains. And once you get this down, you'll want to add it to everything. I know I did. And single crochet in that last back loop. And then we're going to chain one again, and then we're going to turn. And you see what's happened? That slip stitch has become a ridge. Now, this is where we're going to actually make the rope cable. And it's pretty simple. You're just going to single crochet through both loops of the first stitch, just like that. And then you're going to chain 3. Now you're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, and you're going to attach in the 3rd stitch the single crochet. Now comes the fun part. Now we turn it so that the chains that we just made are facing the opposite way. So if you are right-handed, obviously they're going to be facing left. If you're left-handed, they're going to be facing to the right. Now, without making a chain, we're going to actually single crochet in each of the 3 chains that we just made. And that first one is sometimes kind of tight, sometimes not. Okay, so now we have our 3 single crochets in our chains. We're going to turn it again so it's the right way. And I find it's easier to fold that chain and single crochets down so I can see what I'm doing. See those 2 stitches that we skipped? Those 2 right there? We're going to go back into them and single crochet. And there's 1 row right there. Now we'll chain 3 again, just like we did. Now we're going to skip the attachment point, which is right there, plus 2 more stitches, and we're going to go into the 3rd stitch, just like we did with the first one. Single crochet, turn, single crochet in each of the chains, one more, then we're going to turn it, fold it over, and single crochet in the 2 stitches that we skipped. And we do it again. You see how it's starting to shape up there? Skip the attachment, skip the next 2 stitches, single crochet into that 3rd stitch, turn, single crochet in each of the 3 chains that we just made, remembering that sometimes the first one is a little tight. If you're anything like me, it will be. Oops. There we go. Turn, fold it over, and single crochet in the 2 stitches that we missed, which are right there. See? That's the first one. And then we've got the second one. And again we chain 3. Skip the attachment, skip the next 2, single crochet in that one. And we turn, single crochet in each of the chains. Might have to give it a little wiggle. There we go. Turn and fold it over, single crochet in the 2 stitches that we skipped. Maybe. Come on now. And you'll do that across until you come to the last stitch in the row, which is that one. And that's simply going to be a single crochet. and that's what you'll have. Now the next row, again, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch in the row. Now this is where it gets fun. A single crochet, and then in the next stitch 2 crochet. You'll put 2 stitches in one. Normally that's an increase, but what's happened is you've actually lost several stitches in this row when you skipped where it attaches, and now you're just adding those stitches back in, so you'll get back to the same number. In the first one we'll put 1, and then in the second one we'll put 2, and you do that straight across. So you're going to skip where that attachment is. You see that bobbly piece right there? You're going to skip that, and you're going to go to this one where you put in the single crochet, and then the next one you'll put in 2. And you do that all the way across to the last stitch again. And then in that last stitch you'll put another single crochet. That's what the back will look like. And there's the front. Once again, we chain 1 and we turn. And in this one, this row, working in the front loops only again, you're going to single crochet in each, not single crochet, slip stitch, my bad, in each stitch across to form that ridge that we did at the bottom. Do that all the way across to the last stitch. Chain 1, turn, and then again working in these abandoned back loops, you're going to single crochet all the way across. And if you have to pull up the first one to get it up in there, go ahead and do that. There we go. I get the feeling that I might have to pull up every single one of these, maybe, or wiggle it in. Sometimes your work will go pretty quickly, and sometimes it won't go pretty quickly. And on days where it doesn't want to go quickly, you just kind of have to take a deep breath and slow down, because obviously that's what you're meant to do. And you just single crochet in these back loops all the way across. One more, maybe. And that's it. There we are from the back. And here we are at the front. We've got our 2 ridges that define where our cable is, and there we have a rope cable. Hope you enjoyed it. Practice on it and add it to everything you can. It's one of those things where it looks pretty complicated until you actually sit down and do it. Meantime, I hope you have a great day. Leave me some love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!